is going on, 242 students? That is right, you have joined us online. My name is Matt, I'm one of our student pastors, and I'm so excited that you have joined us today. Now, it's Mother's Day weekend, and so whether you have already celebrated your mom or you're going to, this is your reminder to thank them or that mother figure in your life. Thank them for everything they've done for you. The women in our lives help us become who we are. And especially during this time of social distancing and quarantine, I think a lot of us have been picking up some new hobbies or activities. For me, I've been shooting hoops more, and let me tell you what, I don't miss anymore. I hit them every time. Check out some of these shots I've been making. Another talent that I've picked up is piano. I've never been someone who's musically inclined, but for some reason during this time I've been crushing it on those keys. Check this out. Okay, I know you're laughing at me going, Matt, those are kids' toys. You're right, I have an 18-month-old, but you gotta work with what you got in your house. And one thing that me and my wife and some friends of mine, we've been trying is blindfolded Pictionary. And I want to play with you guys right now. So wherever you're at, stretch out your fingers to get ready to enter in the chat whatever you think that object is in the Pictionary thing. If you've never played Pictionary before, what's going to happen is normally someone is drawing, but this time everything's pre-drawn. So the picture's going to be on the screen and you guys have 15 seconds to guess what you think that picture is. In fact, actually, I think you guys are so good at this, I think you can do it in 10 seconds. Okay, so you have 10 seconds to guess what you think the picture is, and just guess it, enter it in the chat, and let's see who's right. Here's picture number 1. Okay, if you guessed a snowman, even if you said Olaf or Frosty, you were right. That's a snowman drawn by yours truly. You can win an autographed copy sometime later on. Hey, who's ready for Pictionary picture number 2? Okay, for those of you who guessed bunny, you are right. You're right. It's not the Easter bunny that Joel caught a few weeks ago, but it is a bunny. Good job. Now this is our last picture. I just want to see if you guys can get this one right. Check out picture number 3. Okay, so since this is the last one, I think we all need a drum roll together. So wherever you're at, just go start that drum roll, get ready for the last one. The answer is a castle. If you got that one right, good job. This is the thing, we've been picking up all of these talents. We've been celebrating our moms, and honestly, I'm super excited for our service today. And I'm so glad that you guys are joining us here. Now, I know you enjoyed week 1 of the Toy Box Gang last week, but who's ready for Toy Box Gang episode 2? Check this out.
They say the most important 2 days of your life are the day you are born and the day you discover what you were born for. Reuniting you was my purpose, and now I have nothing left to live for.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Well, see you later.
Godspeed, my lad. Bon voyage.
Man, that dude weird.
Precious is one of my most loyal subjects.
Yo, Darren, you ain't no king.
I've always wanted to know someone, who's royalty, someone to, just like, call your highness, and if you, got a ring, I'd kiss it, as a friend.
How do you know? You ever met a king before?
I'm just saying, I don't know why I got stuck with Myrrh.
You get Myrrh because you forgot to bring the map. Now it's gonna take us 2 years to get there.
Yo, that Myrrh was off the hook, for real though.
Being a king isn't like that. It's a big responsibility.
So what you do all day?
Just king-type stuff. I eat grapes. I display wisdom. Cut the baby in half. I'm also a part-time lifeguard for extra money. Lap swimming only, everyone.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, now I know why Terry's such a mess.
I'm telling you, man, I have seen some stuff.
Dude did smell like wildflowers though.
Yeah, I guess, it's like every job has its perks or something.
Tell me about it. Being king has a lot of perks.
Is that right? You get a girlfriend or something?
Actually, I did.
Darren and a girls, sitting in a tree, SIDEHUGGING.
I do have a girlfriend, and she is really hot.
Who is it?
Her name is Cholula, and she's coming this way.
My baby's swaying like a palm tree, palm tree. My baby's swaying like a but I don't wanna think we got no place to go. Why can't we live like this forever? Why can't we?
Man, she a bottle. Bottles can't talk.
This is all very strange.
I ain't been this uncomfortable since the last time I heard somebody eat some soup.
Hey, Bay, where you been all day? Don't say that in front of the guys. You're embarrassing me. So, guys, this is Cholula. Cholula, this is the guys.
Be supportive, everyone.
Hey, what's up, girl?
I do not know what to say in this situation.
I told you she was hot.
What's up, students? It's day 1012 of quarantine, and so we're coming at you with some life hacks. Now, this series we're in is called Life Hacks. What are life hacks? They're hacks that make life easier. So let me throw some at you. First life hack has to do with a microwave. Now, there is nothing worse on this earth except for maybe quarantine than when you have to wait to cook your food because your sister's taking her sweet time getting it extra spicy in that microwave. I've solved it. All you have to do is use a cup as a barrier and you can get double the amount of food in the microwave. It has saved my wife and I's marriage as we can use the microwave at the same time. Life hack. Life hack number 2. Now I know how many of you have these little plastic caps just kind of lying everywhere around your house, and they've been going to waste. No longer. They now can be used for fancy egg holders. You know how you have like the really nice like grade A premium cage-free chicken eggs and you want to show them off? Well, you can now by turning them into fancy egg holders. Life hack. Life hack number 3. Life hack number 3, nobody likes a dirty sink. And the problem is you probably caused the dirty sink. And so your mom asked you to clean the dishes in the dirty sink, but you don't do it. I've got your life hack to do it in a second. You can take a dirty sink to a clean sink in 1 second. All you do is you print off a picture of a clean sink and you put it over the dishes in the dirty sink and they will never know, and you will get your chores done and get back to Xbox. Life hack. Life hack number 4. Don't you hate it when you're watching a movie and all your bowls are dirty because we're doing dishes like every day during all this? Well, now you can turn your sweatshirt around and you can actually use the front of your hood, which would have been the back, as a bowl for your popcorn, and you can just chill. No hands, still got your hands for texting, and you've got the popcorn right there available for the munching. Last and final life hack. I know I hate it when my rice has too much water in it. I hate it. So if your rice has too much water in it, all you have to do is throw a couple phones in there to soak up that water, and all of a sudden your rice will be back to the dry, tasty goodness that the Lord intended it to be. Hey, that's all I got, but good news is we're in the middle of this series, Life Hacks. We've got actually many more life hacks to come, in not only the message, but in weeks to come. Hope you enjoy.
Well, welcome to week 2 of Life Hacks. And today we're going to be continuing our series. But before we get into that, I have a question. Have you ever had a moment where you said something and immediately regretted it? Maybe it was with a friend that you said something that was kind of hurtful and you didn't mean. Or maybe it was something in passing with someone else that you just said and you're like, oh, you can't believe you said it. Well, I remember this one time where me and my mom got into a huge argument. And all of a sudden, we're yelling at each other, and I said that I hated her. And at that moment, I knew, 1, it wasn't true. 2, that I had said something I did not want to say. I wanted those words back so bad. I said them, and I'm like, come back here, words, right? Because the truth is that I didn't only regret it because, I got in so much trouble for it, but also because I hurt my mom by saying those things. And sometimes we say things that we don't mean. There's this saying that you may have heard that says, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. The truth is, I don't know who created that saying, but that saying is a huge lie. It's a huge lie. And I know that because I've had so many times where words have hurt so badly. I can still remember sometimes words that have hurt me more than nice things that have been said. And words hurt sometimes. Words have power. And it's kind of like this, like once we say it, we can't get it back, right? Like, kind of like these feathers. Now, I don't know if you've ever opened a feather pillow before. Years ago, at another church, we did a big, huge pillow fight, and we opened some feather pillows, and we literally were cleaning up the gym floor, because it was like carpeted, for hours, maybe even a whole day. It took us that long to clean up all the feathers, because once you get them out, like, there was no getting all of them back, right? Because they kind of just went everywhere. And like once you have feathers that go, it's like you can't get them back. Like the wind will carry it on there. Like literally, there's one over there. I can't get those feathers back, even if I tried. Even if I tried really, really hard, there was no way I can get them back. In the same way at that event, like there was no way we could get them all back. Like I think some kids took some home in their clothes. Like it was impossible. And so the same goes for our words. Once we say them, we can't get them back, no matter how hard we try. And that's why in the book of James that we're talking through talks about how words are powerful. That words are powerful. It's said in another part of the Bible, it says that words have the power of life and death. And so how do we, if we're talking about life hacks, able to actually use our powers for life, or words for life, instead of death? And so we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to pass this off to Etta. She's going to take it away, talk about how we can use our words for life.
So like Megan was saying, your words are really powerful. And once they go out there, they can't come back. We can't unsay them. We've all heard the saying, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And if you're in middle school, you know that's not true. Not just the words we say out of our mouths, but the words we say with our thumbs as well on social media. And we're continuing our study of James, and we're looking at James 3:3-8. And it says, when we put bits into the mouths of horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. I was watching a documentary with my kids, this is homeschooling, about how the divers of dolphins train them, and they were doing all these cool tricks, and they would dive in and like stand on the head of the dolphin, and they would go up together, and then they would throw a bit of food into their mouths. And it's this picture of something really small can control this huge animal. And then verse 4 says, or take ships for example. Although they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are steered by a very small rudder, wherever the pilot wants to go. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts, or it makes a big difference. Consider what a great forest is set on fire by a small spark. I don't know if you guys have seen the fires in Australia, and thinking about that huge fire that caused so much destruction would have started with a small spark. And verse 6 says, the tongue also is a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. It corrupts the whole body and sets the whole course of one's life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. A little dramatic, but it shows the amount of destruction we can cause with our tongues and how deeply that we can hurt each other or be hurt, and we've all experienced that. Verse 7 says, all kinds of animals and birds and reptiles and sea creatures are being tamed and have been tamed by mankind, like we were talking about the dolphins, but no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison. Super dramatic. But I think this is the opportunity that we have in this. We have the opportunity to give over control of our tongues to God and ask Him to help us use our tongues to speak life. Like Megan said, the power, and from the Bible also, the power of life and death is in the tongue. And the opportunity we have to speak life over someone. I don't know if you've experienced this, but someone just speaking a word of encouragement to you, or commenting something on something you posted on Instagram, and you just get happy and you smile. But we've also seen people say really mean things, even if it's to someone else, and your day kind of turns and becomes like dark. If someone gives you an idea and you're like, that's a phenomenal idea, you've suddenly given life to this idea. And this person will go ahead and do it and something cool will happen. Or if you're like, that's dumb, that idea is dead. Like, they won't say it to anyone else and they won't do it. But here's an opportunity we have, even this week, to speak life over people, to speak life over your little brother, over your mom and dad, and just say encouraging things. Look for ways you can speak life over people and not speak death. And when I think of speaking death, stuff like gossiping is speaking death too. Even if it's true, it's not necessary for me to tell all the people what I know about this one friend. And all these things we know intuitively hurt because we see how they would hurt us. So let's not say those things to other people and use our tongues to speak life over everyone we know. So we're going to a time of encounter, and we're all about taking next steps with God. And I don't know what your next step is with your tongue. If you have been struggling, like being disrespectful, saying mean things, like, take it to Jesus. Ask God to help you to use your tongue for life. And maybe find different passages. Read this passage over, but find different passages in Proverbs and Psalms that talk about the tongue, and ask God to help you tame it, because it's really hard to do it on your own. And if your next step is just speaking life over people, think of a couple of friends you can text and encourage this week. And just think of something about them that you think is really cool. Like maybe just, you're so funny and I love how you make me laugh. Whatever it is, just think of encouraging things you can do and text a couple of friends this week. You guys are awesome. We got this. God is gonna help us to tame our tongues.
I wanna be close to you. I wanna be close to you. And there's nothing in this world that compares to who you are. In the arms of the Father, there is love like no other. He who formed all things offers love to me. Where you go, we will follow. Through the dark, through the narrow, and in all we do, yeah, we are bound to you. I wanna be close to you. I wanna be close to you. And there's nothing in this world that compares to all you are. We are found in your presence, seeking you in your fullness. Give us eyes to this world that compares to all you are. My sole devotion, my only focus, to worship you. My life surrendered, my heart abandoned for more of you. My sole devotion, my only focus, to worship you. My life surrendered, my heart abandoned for more of you. I wanna be close to you. I wanna be close to you. And there's nothing in this world that compares to all you are. I wanna be close to you. I wanna be close to you. And there's nothing in this world that compares to all you are.
Thanks for joining us at 242 Students Online. But don't stop here. If you haven't yet, fill out our next steps card to join an online small group. Let us know you want to get baptized or really take so many other next steps. That's a great way for us to get to know you so we can help you grow in your faith with God. And be thinking about who's the person that you need to invite to join us next week here at 242 Students Online.